crazy plan for Sharia law Britain. Nobody knew whether I was a thief hiding from the police or a fanatic gripping a homemade bomb. Outraged council chiefs have demanded British-style toilets are used instead of Middle East-style squat holes.
I worked in the Daily Star for 2 years. I resigned because I was sick of writing stories which I knew to be untrue.
I spent most of my career demonising Islam, and despite its media image, it's Britain's fastest growing religion. I want to know why. I am nervous meeting some Muslims today. They probably think that I believe that they're all terrorists and bombers.
We're off to a shaky start.
I've got a bone to pick with you. Come on. My name's Daniel Johnson. I used to be a punk rock singer, and now I'm a Muslim.
Daniel converted to Islam aged 19, just after 9/11. No shrinking violet is our Daniel.
You used to invent stories about Muslims to sell papers. Is that true?
Not quite as simple as that.
You knew at the time what you were doing, and people just like you who are still doing it, how do they sleep at night?
OK, he's got a point. This isn't about me making up stories anymore. It's about real lives and difficult choices.
I was a teenage binge drinker, and now I'm a Muslim.
So tell me a little bit more about your wild child days.
It was drinking, smoking, things like this, you know, running away from home and being really naughty, you know, disrespectful towards my parents. I was a real nightmare. Not much telly.
Donna fell in love with a Muslim and changed her religion to be with him. She's gradually become more devout, to the point where I can't imagine the old Donna, the clubber, the boozer. Maybe a shopping trip to Middlesbrough will help.
Wind the clock back to the year 2000. Would you have worn that?
Again, it's the style thing, it's too blingy. But it wouldn't have been a problem that it was skimpy.
That wouldn't have bothered you?
That wouldn't have been a problem, no.
No, but it's the bling on it.
But like you see, this low cut, that would be the style.
So when you see girls wearing something like that, does it make you feel a bit dowdy, perhaps?
No, because again, it's a choice that I made, you know, and if I really wanted to do things like this, I'm still able to do it, it's a choice.
Do you miss that aspect of your life?
Yeah, I do miss going shopping for the clothes, then getting ready with your mates and having a laugh when I'm dropping them off to the clubs, and sometimes I do wish, I would like to just take my scarf off and go. And they do ask me, come on, just come with us, but I don't think I would ever step foot again in a nightclub.
One of the most difficult things for me, were I to convert to Islam, would be the giving up drinking. I mean, drinking is the religion in the northeast. Straight away, you'd be an outsider.
Donna's friend Amy also converted for love, but she hasn't sacrificed so much.
I'm a party animal, but I'm also a Muslim. I do drink, and I go out with the girls and stuff. I don't normally wear my headscarf. I've only put it on to go in the mosque.
So do you find there quite a conflict? It's quite a tension between sort of trying to balance what you might call your British lifestyle and your Muslim lifestyle?
Definitely, yeah. Like, if I want to follow properly, I've got to wear the headscarf, and that means not doing my hair. Not having, you know, I like to do my hair and look nice, and certain clothes you can't wear because you would be showing too much or whatever. Even just showing your arms and your chest and that kind of thing. You know, you've got to change a lot of things.
Converting is nothing new. Pop stars, actors, sports people, they've all done it, including Muhammad Ali in 1965. He even visited this mosque in South Shields. But post 9/11, the trend is growing. Research suggests more than 5,000 people embraced Islam in Britain last year alone. And Amy fits the profile of the new convert perfectly. Young, white and female, and with a crucial role to play.
I think converts can play a massive role. I think the fact that if converts tell other white people who are non-Muslim why they converted and give them the exact reason why they converted, then that could remove a lot of misconceptions about Islam.
After our first meeting, Daniel's calmed down a bit. We hook up at one of his favourite teenage haunts.
So this bench, a lot of youth spent on this bench?
Yeah, wasted youth, Rich. We would sit there, we would smoke marijuana and drink cheap cider. We liked punk rock so much because it was so angry, and I was so full of anger. And I used to write like angry pseudo-political tripe.
Can you remember any of the lyrics?
Yes, we had a song called Give Dope and Eat of the Iraqis. I'm not even going to feign nostalgia. Those were some of the most miserable days of my life.
Really?
You know? Well, I mean, I just didn't know the purpose of life. It was only when I started finding out about Islam that things started to make sense. I came to Islam through Christianity. I mean, I always had this longing in me to connect with God.
And so you couldn't find that through Christianity?
Well, I think I did to some extent, but I think the next step, the logical next step, was to become a Muslim. Because when I discovered Islam, after 9/11, because that made me want to find out more about Islam, I found that all the things I really valued and believed in as a Christian were there in Islam, and it also had more to offer as well.
But what does Daniel's family make of it all?
When you first converted, yeah, you could be quite annoying. There's a big part of me glad that I wasn't too close to you for a lot of it.
When I did first become a Muslim, I got a serious bout of what's called convertitis, and that is when you become so full of passion and enthusiasm, you almost become temporarily insane. Nowadays, my ethos is I like to pass on the message of Islam, and what people do with it, that's up to them.
The Muslim community here is small. Only 1% of the northeast population follow Islam. Less than 750 Muslims live in the whole of Cumbria. In Middlesbrough, it's just 6,000.
I am the only Muslim in my family. My mum's side's Catholic and my dad's side are Christian. I wouldn't say they've rejected me, but like you said, it's a massive shock to them. Now I feel bad because weddings, parties, funerals, christenings, things like this within the family, I don't now attend because the I'd say the borough way is to have the party at a pub, the local club, you know, and because I won't go in these places.
Can't you go to the reception themselves?
No, because it's in a pub. I don't think they would fall out with me over these things, but I can't imagine that they're happy about it, and maybe they don't understand.
Amy married in this mosque 4 years ago, but hasn't been back since. I want to know why.
I find it intimidating. I worry about going in there and doing something wrong, or people looking at me and like whispering and nudging each other because they see me and they see blonde hair and blue eyes and they think like I'm an intruder. I do feel like I'm intruding sometimes.
Do you think that Middlesbrough is a difficult place to be a Muslim?
It's difficult to be a Muslim who isn't Asian. If you're not of the same background culturally, they tend to leave you like you're an outsider, basically.
A lot of new Muslims, they struggle because of lack of support. And I think, and because it's not necessarily that they can't come to the mosque, it's that when they do come to the mosque, they have no one to answer their questions.
Allahu Akbar. Sami Allahu liman hamida.
I do regret now writing stories about Islam when I didn't really know anything about it or made no effort to. On a personal level, I let myself down not learning more, but I hope to change that.
When I heard about who was going to be doing the interview and what he's done, I was full of anger and really I wanted to throttle him, to be honest. But then when I thought about the reality of what he's done since writing those terrible headlines, how he's tried to spread the truth after having spread falsehood, actually, I really admire him and respect him.
While I spent my tabloid career tearing at the seams of communities, these Muslim converts are repairing my damage. They've been on a really difficult path, but I genuinely feel they believe they're on the right road. I hope that now I'm on the right road too.